Now, as Nigeria's stock exchange launches its program to drive the listing of medium-sized and emerging companies, earlier I spoke with Augustine Edet, rather. He's the CEO of Nexen, and he's one of the designated advisors to guide companies looking to list on the bourse. And I spoke to him to get his views on the listing of SMEs and the government programs designed to spur the growth of small businesses.
If you understand the structure of SMEs, most of them are informally run. They do not have any modicum of corporate governance. Most of them are owner managed. They don't separate the business from the owner of the business. They don't have professional managers for their businesses. They lack the structures, processes, and procedures that any credible business needs to be able to make itself sustainably in the marketplace. Now, these characteristics makes SMEs very, very risky for fund providers, including accessing the stock market. The stock market is the ultimate place where you access long-term funding. And only very savvy people put their money in the stock market. They like to see that this company that they're investing in is doing very well, is performing on a consistent basis year in and year out, and that they'll make good return on investment. So if they're going to put their bets on your company, they'll like to see a company that's well organized from the top down. And so what we're going to assist the Nigerian Stock Exchange to do under this program is to provide institutional services which will basically help these SMEs to completely de-risk them by providing solutions to those issues. For instance, most SMEs are registered with boards because it's a statutory requirement. You're required to have at least 2 directors to start a business. But what you'd find in actual fact is that those boards are inactive. And for a company that aspires to list on the stock exchange, one of the things that attracts respectability is the fact that you have a board that has good reputational assets. So, and that sort of board attracts people to the business, people that will bring you finance, people that will bring you contacts in the marketplace, and people that will expose your business to the kind of growth opportunities that you need. So from the issues of corporate governance to putting in place professional management, to putting in place the internal management structures and processes and procedures that businesses require to run on a sustainable basis. These are the kind of things that we're going to handhold those businesses and help them to walk through so that they can be eligible for listing on the stock exchange.
But looking at what the federal government is doing, can you just speak to the changes that you're seeing there that are notable? I think some people are a bit critical of how things are going, and that changes are not necessarily holistic, but are there any notable changes that you think could drive the growth of SMEs in Nigeria?
There are some notable changes, and those changes from the government side, from the standpoint of trying to address some of the institutional voids that exist in our marketplace. When I mean our marketplace, I mean the Nigerian economy. The promulgation of the law that set up SMEs was one of them, because before that time we didn't really have a regulatory body that had an aggregation responsibility for providing information on small and medium scale enterprises, providing capacity building and all the kind of services that SMEs does. Now that was a worthy effort, but we have to move to a point where we provide a complete ecosystem. Most of the solutions that were found, including the recent UWIN, I'm sure you've heard about UWIN, yeah, driven by the Ministry of Trade and Investment. Those initiatives are very laudable. They are fantastic. What they have done is to help entrepreneurs access funding, which is only one problem. And in the course of interacting with SMEs and providing them services, what we find is that sometimes funding is the least of their problem. What they need to do is to solve their internal issues first, and automatically most of them become eligible to access funding, which will come a lot easier if they are de-risked. So in a sense, there are many programs that the federal government as well as state governments have put together to assist SMEs grow, from funding, access to funding, to capacity building and all that. But we think that at this point, the regulatory body at the center, SMEs, and all of us, all the stakeholders who are interested in this process, we probably will need to get together and articulate something that is very, very holistic, so that SMEs would have a sort of one-stop solution or one-stop perspective to being able to look at all the issues that they have and resolving those issues so that they can better provide their goods and services.